All right, here we are at the Plamo Talk episode 9. We've got Dad Life Gunpla with us, also known as Matt.
What's up, guys?
So, too bad we couldn't come to y'all live. I'd like to, but this platform I'm now running into is not playing nice with any of the browsers, so I didn't have a choice but to record this and then put it out there later.
Totally
So,
get it.
yeah, yeah, it's technology. I've been working in technology for 20 years and it never seems to fail me. So, until I need it to really work.
Yeah. Yeah. Streamlabs has been rough for me on live streams, especially not the last time, but a few times ago, man. It was for a while. I just had one thing after another would not sync up right.
Yeah, I've had that issue with OBS recently. OBS will start to stutter real bad, and
Ugh.
I had to uninstall it, reinstall it. Still did it. I was like, you know what? Man, forget it. I'll just I'll go ahead and just capture the whole thing with an SD card, plug it into my computer, and just start, and then do the audio later. I was enjoying that, having everything in one space and everything in one file.
Yeah.
But I've learned that Audacity is actually really good for free. It's a really good
Okay.
platform. So if you're ever doing any audio work only, that's a pretty good one to use.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. It'll say for editing and stuff like that, I usually use CapCut on my phone initially to start out with, and I switch over to Premiere Pro for especially for audio and stuff like that because, yeah, that's so far has been the best app for me to use.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love Premiere Pro. I know people. I used to do photography years and years ago,
Yeah.
and I would do some videography with a Canon M50. And I know this is getting way off what we're supposed to be talking about. That's but
Yes. Yeah.
I got into Premiere Pro with that, and I know people are like, you quit paying for Premiere Pro, quit feeding Adobe, but man, it's really like one of the best on the market. It's hard to say no.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And especially if you get just like that application, it's not too expensive in my opinion either. So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like I'd love to have my MacBook again and have all in Final Cut Pro, but I don't want to spend $300 on a perpetual license. Yeah,
No.
that's heavy upfront cost. Here, pay
Yes.
$24.99 for a brand new MacBook Pro and $300 for a license. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah, it's like I totally got that kind of money right now. There's my wife in the background. She's
Right on.
she's gonna go she's gonna go take care of the kids. So
No, I get it,
um
man. I get it.
but anyway, we're here to talk plastic model kits and gunpla, and my mic fell. Of course it did.
Dude, it's all right. Anytime you go live or go try to stream anything, there's always at least one thing that's haywire. So I get it.
Always something with this platform, man. And so I guess the big question I've wanted to ask a lot of people, especially those who've been watching a while, and I'd like to get them in the platform like this. But the big question I've got is, what got you into Gundam and Gunpla to begin with?
Okay. Yeah, that's a great question, man. So, um, I actually was catching up a little bit on some of your Plamo talks in the past, and one of the most recent ones, and once probably like an episode or two ago, was where you mentioned Toonami. And
Yeah,
so, same thing, man. I started into the series. I absolutely loved Wing, but G series is actually what hooked me. That was my favorite. That's still my favorite series today.
really.
Yep. I just love the cheesy kung fu fighting style series. It's just it just describes me. And I don't know just how funny it was, and just
Yeah.
always loved it. So grew up on Toonami watching Wings. So that kind of what started me in the Gundam anime series, and of course Endless Waltz.
Oh
I
yeah.
have owned that on VHS, DVD. I'm kind of giving my age away a little bit on that one, but
Hey,
um,
I'm right there with you.
yes, yeah. So I've owned that on all platforms, just because it's such a good show. But so to get into actual the plastic side of it, I would say is actually because there was this random shop, and it was just a hodgepodge of like random things in the area, and they'd have a model section, and it was just like this was like a hardware store, like clothing, not a great like name brand or anything like that. But my
Yeah.
grandpa would go there, so I would ride with him, and I would always cruise through the model shop. Well, at this time, they had the old high grade wing kits,
Oh
and
man.
oh, yeah, I was like,
Oh,
it's literally piece, slap them together kind of thing, and
yeah.
you're done in like 5 minutes tops. But yeah, so I started collecting those and or building those actually because I enjoy the build more than anything. So yeah, so that's how I kind of got into the actual Gundam series. Now, skip ahead probably about probably about 10, 15 years, and then once everything started picking back up, I was out cruising like a hobby shop, and I ran into where they had a real grade actually, a Freedom, real grade Freedom, and I'm like, I'll give it a shot. So I picked it up, and I've been on it ever since. Yeah, so I started back into it, and last I don't know, the last couple of years now I've been on YouTube even doing this. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I noticed
Yes.
you've been around for a couple of years on YouTube. I saw I was scrolling your channel the other day just to see how long you've been here, and a couple of years, 2 or 3 years, I think is what I saw. So
It's not
yeah,
inconsistent, but I've
yeah,
been trying to be more consistent with it, especially because I have two littles myself. So I'm trying to work in at least a video or, one video, either live stream, build, or, review a week. So
yeah.
I wish I could do more, but with my time restraints, and it's just what
Oh,
it is.
yeah. No, I got a couple kids myself, and man, it's tough to find the time. But now that my kids are 10 and above, it's easier for me to kind of just like take off
Ah,
some time into the little space where I'm at right now.
yeah.
This used to be my daughter's room, and then we turned it into an office slash entertainment
Nice.
room.
Hmm.
So I've got this massive long desk that I build on now. So, uh,
Dude, that's nice.
yeah, so it's been real nice to be able to have my own little creator space and just kind of escape away. Uh,
Hmm.
Man, because after a long day, you need it. You really do. So,
Yeah, 100% agree with that. I wish I had a little bit more space. Unfortunately, I've set up in like my front room, not my living room per se, but yeah, I have two littles. They're 4 and 2, or going to be
oh
2 here soon. So little littles.
yeah, that's those are
Yes,
fun ages, man.
they are, but I got to watch my son, especially with my models. I post about here and there, but man, he's been, especially this high grade God Gundam that I built recently, man, he is absolutely loving, especially the hands. I made the mistake of showing that clear orange plastic is
Oh yeah,
iridescent in a way,
yep,
so under a blue light they glow.
yep,
And he's not left alone since.
yeah. Just
Oh man.
wait till you show them the fluorescent paint and putting a black light to that. See what?
Oh yeah. I was watching some of that steady paints just a short the other day. So I'm like, it looks nice. I gotta do that next.
I need a cabinet like you got in the background that with
Oh,
lighting to do all that stuff. I just got a bookshelf back there, so nothing
yes.
crazy right now. But yeah, I mean, for me, Gunpla was kind of one of those things that was a nothing thought, right? It was
Mm,
I never really thought about it. I went to gaming stores and I was, oh my God, I'm going to show my age. Back in like 1997, I was
yeah.
I was playing Magic the Gathering whenever Tempest was a brand new series.
Oh wow. Nice.
So that was way back when.
Yeah.
So anybody who watches this, you can pretty much guess my age based off that. And I saw those kids, but I was like, oh, I like Gundam because I'm watching it on Cartoon Network, whatever. But you
Right.
know, me being a mid teenager, I didn't have enough money to afford that. My priority wasn't there. It was I'm going to buy some Magic cards and blow $5 a pack, whatever.
Yes.
um, And then life happens, and then you start doing other things, and your hobbies take a side because you get kids, and you know,
Mm,
marriage, and everything just makes everything go off to the side. Then I think it was last September. I just decided, you know what? Why not? Why not?
right.
I've held off this long, and I need a new hobby. I need something to keep me busy, and I was like, I like Gundam enough. And I
Mm,
started watching it before I picked him up again. I got real big into Double O. That's like that is my favorite. I love Wing. I always have, but Double
yeah.
O is my favorite.
Oh yeah. What's
Yeah.
your favorite is
Uh,
Setsuna your favorite or
yeah,
yeah.
Exia. I mean, I know it's like the lead. It's like, oh, that's so cliche. It's the lead. No, I mean, like,
That's all right. That's all right. I seem to always lean towards the second role support. I know like Athranzala from Seed. He's always my favorite in that. Of course, I like Char. I think everybody likes Char,
I
but
think everybody likes Char, even though he's a bad guy. Everybody likes Char because they can identify with the guy. They're like,
yeah,
yeah, we can kind of see where you're coming from here. Like, okay,
right.
I like, I don't know, like, shoot, that Justice Gundam though is pretty nice. Like, I won't
Yeah,
lie. Like, the pilot Atheron, like, I think he's more grounded than,
he is.
I think he's a lot more grounded as a character. I think, Setsuna FSA, I don't think he's so grounded. I just think he's just so indifferent and so passe towards stuff. I'm like, I like
Yeah.
that. I like this. He's just so like, whatever.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's kind of like the backstory with the war-torn childhood and everything like that. So,
So yeah, so like Exia caught my attention because it's not like when you look at the ARC 782 or you look at some other Gundams from a series that came shortly after that, you're like, this doesn't look anything like these, but it's similar enough.
right.
And I know I'm going to catch some flack for this because I said that the G-Quacks look nothing like these, and
Yes. Gee, that's kind of a trigger anime right now. I feel like just because the design is entirely different than most. You know, it has the same color scheme, but in my opinion, that's about it.
yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
it throws me off. Like I watched. See, we're going off into. It's fine. It's totally fine. We're going off into this tangent because I think
Yeah,
like
no.
we're having this conversation, and like
Right.
so G-Quacks to me, I watched episode one, and I had to like I started to skip through it after the second watching, and I noticed that it was just a very quick episode for 23 minutes. Like it didn't really focus on a lot of anything except for here's the introduction to these characters, here's the G-Quacks, and
Yeah.
nothing about anything right now. And you're like, great, so you left us with a cliffhanger. Where's Char? Where's Amuro? That's my question. Where's Amuro Ray?
Yeah, I heard you mention that one. Yeah, it's like Armoro is a key factor.
Yes, like he is like the key character in the UC timeline, especially around then. So where is he? Where's he at? So
Yes.
uh, if they don't introduce him in the next 11 episodes, or at least talk about him a couple of times, I might be like, okay, I'm going to give up on this series. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that to that guy. He's so
Right.
he's like the foundation for Gundam, I think. So, yeah, I know I'm going to catch a lot of flack for that because Exia is so different. I love it. I love that Gundam. I've got the master grade, got the real
Mm.
grade. I've got a high grade of it. I'm probably going to be my first perfect grade too.
There
So,
you
I mean, $300 later.
go. Go all out and get the LEDs too.
Oh man, that's another $100. That's like $400.
It is, but they're no, I don't have this one, but they're just amazing. Honestly, it's worth the upgrade on that one.
That's that Cosmo kit, right? Or the Cosmos kit, I think for those.
No, so Bandai has their own, but I think Cosmos actually has a brand too.
Okay.
So, but Bandai did make their own, but it's like another 120. And then I think Cosmos, I couldn't tell you the exact price on that one. I know it's less, but I don't know exactly the amount.
Oh man, I don't know. It's like thinking about dropping $400 before taxes and then paying taxes and then shipping on that. My
Make sure you
wife,
get on sale.
yeah, probably buy my wife another purse or something. I don't know. So,
Oh yeah, yeah.
like, I mean, I know that sounds cliche, but she loves purses, so that and shoes. Um, so
Mine too. Mine too.
I might have to do
Especially
that.
shoes.
Oh my God, there's like 40 of them in there, man. Um,
Yeah. Oh man.
every time she works at a pawn shop too, so like she always gets good deals.
Oh,
Always.
nice.
So
Yeah.
it's nuts. Um, so some of the other questions I was looking at, we pretty much answered these.
Yeah.
Um, we could go into like what's your favorite universal, what's your favorite Century Universal or alternate. Honestly, I think most everybody's Universal. They like the
Yeah.
UC.
Yeah.
I'm
Universal Century. Now I mean, God, the G series is my favorite series, but when it comes to design stuff like that, I do typically lean towards Universal for the most part. I love my GMs. Well, I say that all the time, but I absolutely love the Federation GM suits, stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
those gym suits are awesome. GM or gyms, you
Yeah,
know,
Jims. You're right, Jims. Yeah.
that's even a controversial thing in and of itself, like saying it wrong. Oh, how dare you say GM or Jim or I think it's
It's
Jim.
Jim. I always say
Yeah.
GM, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like, how dare you say GM? Like, I mean, it's two capital letters, G and M. Like, how am I
Yes.
just going to say this? Like, but,
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I absolutely love those. Definitely thinking about. I got a master grade Jim, um, Shin. Not Shin. Oh, never mind. Drawing a blank right now on it. So yeah, I have one. Yeah, Raider Rock, but I can't remember the name of it right now. I started going with Shin Matsunga, the White Wolf, but that's not. I'm messing that up. It's
No,
White Dingo. White Dingo. There it is.
okay, that one actually isn't familiar to me, so I'll have to look that one up.
It's just a
I,
Bandai variant, really, from
okay,
the
okay.
normal Sniper 2, the Gym
Oh,
Sniper 2, but yeah,
that
white and blue scheme.
man, that Sniper 2 design is phenomenal. Like it's
Mm,
so good. I like the variant. My favorite variant to date is the Jesta, and
that's a
I've
good
got
one.
one. I've got the Master Grid in my backlog. I need to build it, but I've been holding off because I've got some cooler ones to build first. Um,
Yeah, you'll love the Jester though. The size of it. I mean, it's actually the build of it's great. The only thing I didn't like on that was the hands, just because they're kind of individually posed and they can be a little fickle sometimes. I actually did break a finger,
oh man,
but
are they like
it's not that bad though. But
are they prefixed like prefixed hands like you normally get, or are they like fully articulated?
they are articulated.
Ugh, I hate those.
Yes.
I hate them. They are the worst. And
Yeah.
we can get into that. Like when it comes to building kits, like what is the one thing that you don't like about kit building? What is one thing that stands out to kit builds that you just don't like?
For me, I would say, oh, that's a fantastic question. I would say transformations.
Oh,
I so I'm not a huge fan of transformation kits. Absolutely. I've literally built a few models that I'm like, I should review these, and I'm like, I really don't want to. Like, I have
yes.
the Gundam base Zeta 3, and I even use that as a size comparison to the bootleg O that I recently built. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I should review it, but I really don't want to put in the wave runner form. I just don't like transformations.
Yep. I built a couple of those kits that you can transform, and I really don't like. I just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm afraid they're gonna get stuck, or I'm gonna snap something, and I'm like, you see all
Yes.
those horror stories out there where people are like, oh, I was trying to mess with this, and I snapped a peg off the arm. I'm like, I don't want to do that. You know?
Yes. Yeah. I'm like, I could go back and maybe fix it, but that's not what I want to do.
Right. Like that guy, I don't know if you've seen Ray Studio. Have you seen any of that guy's work?
Yes, he does phenomenal work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And he goes in there, he fixes some of those things with those tiny little drill bits and some metal
Yeah.
pipe and stuff. I'm like, I just don't have the patience for that. I really don't. Like that's kind of why I leave them alone. Like
Sure.
I'll review everything else about them, and then if you actually this can
Right.
transform, and you do that on your own.
Yes. Yeah. I get that. It's like, and in the past, I've done some, like, I'll try to do the step by step like transformation for comparison. And I will do it eventually, but I will definitely put those on the back burner.
Yep. Yeah, it's like buying the Zeta Gundam. I've heard so many horror stories about the Zeta Gundam and the real grade and the master grades, and I've
Hmm.
looked at them. I've seen them in Hobby Lobby a couple of times. I'm like, I should buy that. Then I look at that. I'm like, I don't think so. I really don't want to transform that thing. I don't want to mess with that. But I'm eventually going to get there because there's only
Right.
so many model kits that you can buy before you get to that point where you got to buy the ones you don't want. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. In my experience, the ones I want to build and review are not necessarily the ones that other people want to see.
that is absolutely true. That is
Yes.
absolutely true. That's why, like, I went on this spree, and I don't know if anybody picked up on it, but I went on this spree. I bought the real grade or the high grade RX 78 GE, the one from Requiem for Vengeance.
Yeah.
And I have the G Quacks, and I've got the Master Grade SD for Wing Zero Custom. And you started putting those out there, all these like like these really fancy ones, and I was like, I'm gonna get like, tons of people are gonna watch this, and like I put them out there. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yes. Yeah. Dude, that's a bummer. I get the on the YouTube side of it too. It's like you always expect videos to do all right, and you have a general idea of like where it kind of leads based on previous ones. But yeah, then you have one that just tanks, like, and you're like, oh man, I spent so much time on that. I
yeah,
swore it would be better than that.
yeah. I'm sitting there going like, I know like some of my early videos they were terrible, and I don't even want to go back and watch them because they're that embarrassing to me anyway. And then I look at stuff that I'm doing now, and I'm like, these got to be much better. So I've only been doing this for like 6 months,
Yeah.
barely 6 months. So I've got a little bit of time to go. But I like to gauge where I was at, where I came
Oh
from
yeah,
doing,
absolutely.
and I bought those kits thinking I was like, okay, I'm gonna do great. This is gonna catch a lot of traction. Then I put them out there. I was like, that did not catch any traction at all. Like nobody watched them. I was like,
Yes.
oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
Yeah, I get. Well, that's your work you put into it, and then if it doesn't take off, you're like, man, That's a bummer. That's yeah. So it is what it is. That's the YouTube game, you know.
Yep.
There's and but then you have other ones that you're like, ah, no one's gonna watch this one, and I'm like, and all of a sudden it's like, boom, it's blowing up.
Yeah. I got
Yes.
comments on like the Zaku 3 I did a while back, and
Hmm.
this new custom goof I did and a few others. I'm like people like the most obscure kits that people don't even buy, they're commenting on. I'm like, okay, cool. Like we can talk about these all day long if you want to, but
Yeah,
I'm not talking
absolutely.
about these real nice fancy ones that just came out.
Yes, and yeah, I don't get it, but my thing with the newer kids is maybe they're just so saturated with a bunch of like different, people reviewing that's been doing it or has a lot of already following in it, and then it's just kind of one of those things where these more obscure kits actually might actually pop out amongst like, you know,
Yep.
everybody was doing like the G-Quocks there for a while and everything like
Oh,
that, and yeah, so it's kind of one of those things like, oh, this is kind of different compared to what I've been seeing, so
I
I
think
don't know.
for some of those like Mecha Gakatsu, I don't know if you watch him or some
Yep.
other. I think they get those kits real early, like months and months before we
Oh,
even see them. So
yeah.
they have that opportunity to get those out there. And you know, that's not me complaining. I mean, that's awesome. They're able to.
No, it is. It
I
is.
want to get to that point. I want
Me,
to get to that
me,
point.
me too, man. Me too, man.
Um,
Absolutely.
so I'll take advantage of like taking pre-orders. Like I just pre-ordered all the high grade wing kits the other day.
Yeah.
And even the G-Quarks kits, all the ones that got are out there, minus the one I just built. So I've got all of those in pre-order.
Hmm.
They're not coming out until October. I was like, well, then I'll just wait. Um, but you know, when it comes to these things, like for me, the thing I hate the most,
Yeah.
honestly, is those fully articulated hands. I hate them with a passion. I told myself early on, I'm gonna love these. These are great. You can do whatever you want with them.
Right.
Then I built the RX-72 Origin, and then it had those.
Hmm.
And I've messed with the ones that were semi fully articulated and some of the older master grades, but this one really just told me, I was like, you know what? I do not like these. These are the worst things that they could have ever created. Why did they do this? I get it. Some people want that customization. They want that ability to do really crazy stuff with the hands,
Yeah.
but they fall apart so easily.
Yeah. They pop out of especially at that knuckle joint. That's been my reoccurring
Yeah.
issue with that. Same with you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I put some like clear nail polish on there, like a fine coat. You know, let it
Uh,
cure, and I put them in there, and it's still like then it's like too thick to fit back in there. I'm like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. So I was like, you know what? The next one, if it comes with these, I really hope it comes with those pre-posed hands. I'll just use those instead. And so
sure.
thankfully the Master Grade EX Strike Freedom has that, so I'm covered. I'm not.
Nice. Yeah.
Covered.
No articulation with fingers.
Yeah, I'm not even going to bother with that. I don't want to do it.
I don't
And so
blame
that
you.
leads to another question: is the kits your grade? What is your preferred grade? What do you like to build? What is your favorite one?
So I review high grades mostly. However, my favorite is master grades.
Hmm.
I enjoy building those, but for time restraints, high grades have been what I've been sticking to for the most part.
Yep.
I honestly like the scale size of the master grade, and I like the complexity. However, I can still finish a master grade in a decent amount of time without stretching it out. I built a perfect grade red frame not that long ago, and because of the size and just how many runners I had to lay out, it took me forever.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's kind of one of those things I'm like, yeah, but master grades is my preferred that I kind of lean to. How about you?
Me, real grades. I know
Okay.
prior to us recording and all this, I mentioned it. Real grades are my
Yeah.
favorite. I might have, you know, I got pretty big hands, but for me, like, I like the amount of detail that you can get out of the real grades. Like
Hmm.
some master grades, some of the early master grades, you're not going to see a lot of detail in those. And some of the most recent ones, you're going to see quite a bit. But I think it's that 144th scale plus the panel separation and the detail that's so compressed that
Yeah.
it's all there in a small package. It looks really good, real clean. You know, outside of the fact that some of the hands droop or the arms droop a little bit because of those advanced mobile suit frames. Um, thanks, Bandai. We love those. Uh,
Right. Yes.
I just love the fact that I can get a high grade size kit that is literally a master grade, a mini master grade, and I can get so much detail out of those. Like for the wing Gundam I'm building right now, the number 35. As I was putting that one together, I'm sitting there looking at the legs, I'm looking at the fins or the wings, looking
Yeah.
at the arms. Like there's so much detail there, so much detail to take advantage of. It's insane. Um, and then with the Delphi decals I'm getting in next week, yeah, um, it's gonna look so good. It's gonna look so good.
Yeah.
Like I love real grades. I really do. I think they're my favorite. Although, like
Nice.
you, for time constraint, high grades have been my go-to because you
Yeah.
make a video, you want to cut it short. You build a real grade for a video. You're looking at a 45 minute to an hour long video. Whereas with high
Yes.
grade, it's like, okay, I can cut down to the 15 minutes, and this is nothing. Unless, unless you're building that Requiem for Vengeance kit, that is like a hybrid real grade in and of itself.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've built it or not, but
I have not. Not
I,
yet.
it's so good. It is so good. It is like my favorite kit to date.
That's crazy.
So good. It's such a
Yeah.
great kit.
Yeah.
Um,
So,
Go ahead.
oh, so the actual Gundam from that series, then I'd seen a little bit of information about it and just some reviews regarding it, but yeah, I haven't had a chance to build it. I've not found it in my area, and just haven't ordered online yet. But yeah.
Yeah, it's that whole series is pretty divisive or divisive. Like I'll watch Gundam because I like Gundam, so I'll watch anything Gundam.
Right.
Although I'm having a hard time bringing myself watching Build Fighters or Turn A, like or Turn a Gundam. Like the design throws me off.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good series. I don't know. I just haven't watched it yet. But Requiem for Vengeance, when it first came out, I binged the entire series from start to finish. It's not very many episodes, like 6 or 8 of them.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, "You gonna come to bed?" I was like, "No, I got to finish this."
No, we're gonna finish watching this. I actually watched the series too, and I did something similar as much as I could get the time in to watch it, but
Yeah,
it was on as soon as I got a chance to.
yeah. So when I saw that, I was like, "I got to find this kit," and I got lucky. I got real lucky that I found it online for right after it came out, before like people started buying it like crazy. I got it ordering really early
Oh,
from
nice.
New Type. I got it from New Type, I think.
Okay.
I love New Type.
Yeah.
And within a couple of days, it was here, and I started building it. And I loved it so much about the Solari, about the Zaku 2.
Hmm.
It's in my backlog currently. So um, that seems to have grown exponentially as well since I started this. So much so that I was told to stop buying kits because they're getting too expensive.
I have had that conversation a few times too. I get it, man. I get that 100%.
Yeah,
Or they're like, oh, you have a. My wife always says, your backlog seems to be pretty big right now. Maybe you should try to build some of those. I'm like, I will build them. However, this kit just came out and it's looking pretty nice.
yes, yep. Yeah, I almost did that to myself today. I know this kit didn't just come out, but it's a Build Fighters kit from it's a red Goof custom.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, it's only $34. Should I buy this? And I was sitting there thinking, but I was sitting there at Hobby Lobby, I was looking at it. My daughters are like the next aisle over, and I'm like, will I get in trouble for this? Will I get a scolding? We
Did you
just
at least get it during the 40%?
No, that's next week. So I was kind of hoping that
Okay.
if it's still there, I'll go.
Here
So,
you go.
but I also saw the NT1 that was there.
Oh,
Um,
Alex?
yeah, that
Yep.
was there. I saw the Virtue that was there too,
Okay.
and
Nice.
and I was
That's
like,
good stock. That's
yeah,
good
I was
stock.
like 40% off, $99 is still a pretty penny, but I might,
Maybe.
yeah.
I'm still looking for the Sazabi in there. I haven't
Uh,
found it yet, but
I have not found that one. I'm almost tempted just to buy it online and call it good. Even if it's not 40% off, I'll just bite the bullet, pay the whole. Like I want that
right.
so bad too. I really do. Like I want color. Like I love the Gundams. I love the way they look. I love the Gundams period. But it almost seems like the antagonists of the show have cooler looking mobile suits to some degree.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Mhm.
why is that? Why is the Epion such a cooler looking, Gundam than Wing Zero or Death
Mhm.
Scythe? Although Death Scythe, arguably, is a really cool looking kit.
Yeah, it is. I like the
And
Tallgeese design too.
oh man, the tall geese, that's one of my favorites. I got the real
Yeah.
back there. That was one of my first. I love it. It's so good.
Mm,
Um, but the antagonists have such great looking kits. You're looking at the the Sinanju Stein, the Sazabi. I mean, all these kits from the antagonists or model or Gundams or mobile suits just look so good. They really do.
mm.
Um, I can't get over it. I think I watch Gundam now more for the mecha than I actually do for the storylines anymore. I mean, if I'm being honest,
Yeah,
that's what it is.
same. Yeah,
I
I
mean,
would agree. Same here. And I mean, every once in a while, I'm like, oh, this is half a bad storyline. I actually did like The Witch from Mercury. I got into the storyline on that one a little bit, but
really?
yeah, yeah, I did.
Oh,
I did enjoy the storyline on that one, but a lot of the times I do watch it just for the mecha itself, and yeah. So I mean, it's been interesting to say the least, but I'm curious to see what some of the designs are coming out, especially after the G Quocks and everything like that. But
I
yeah,
oh man, if you wanna delve into the G-Quux a little bit, like I I cannot, and I know I've said this in another Plamo talk and a couple other videos, but I really just cannot get behind the design language for the Gundams from the UC. I really can't, or from the Federation. I just really cannot get behind those designs.
yeah.
I don't. It doesn't look like Gundam. It doesn't look like the Gundam. It looks like I don't know what it looks like. It doesn't look like a Gundam. It just looks
Yeah.
something else.
And I mean, a lot of times the series get that kind of like backlash when they start out. So maybe they'll loop something in. I know Witch from Mercury got some backlash on that when it first came out. And I think even Iron Blooded Orphans came out and got a little bit of backlash for it too. So, I mean, it's when it kind of strays from the traditional like UC designs for that, it's, yeah. And I mean, which those are all separate alternate universe kind of things. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Although I'll give Iron Blooded Orphans some credit where credit's due, man. That Barbados, that thing looks amazing.
Yes.
Yes. And the
Yeah.
Kamaris Vidar, oh my God. I want that Master Grade so bad. When I saw that thing on the screen,
Hmm.
tearing apart Barbados like it was nothing, I was like, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's got a lot of positive feedback coming out for the that master grade for sure. I know a lot of people were excited that they were just doing a master grade in general because it had been a while since they actually put something up like that.
See, I am not familiar with the release cycle for
Hmm.
what Bandai does for are they releasing high grades this year, master grades, or how the release cycle actually works. I'm not too familiar with that at all.
Yeah,
I just know that I'm still trying to find my groove and my footing here.
sure.
But I mean, have you had an inkling of what the release cycles look like? Do you kind of understand what they do with those, or
Not completely myself, so I do anticipate that they do at least a couple high grades. I watch a guy named what is his Kakarot 197, I think.
hmm,
Or if I misquoted his name, I apologize. But he I usually get a lot of great information from him. He has a great breakdown almost weekly, if probably actually several times a week about like different Gunpla announcements and stuff like that. So then I also follow like P Bandai on like different social media feeds as well to kind of get an idea for that. But so it's kind of hard to track down a time frame. They seem like they do a few high grades a year, it seems like. But as far as master grades, they kind of hit and miss on those. That's why they're so excited when they put up. And that perfect grade new that's going to be coming out. I
oh
know a lot
yeah,
of people are pumped
yeah.
about that. That's going to be a pretty penny too, though.
I've yet to build a new, and I've been
Yes.
wanting to. And every time I think about it, I put it in my cart, and I'm like, I can get three kits for the price of this one.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, if you're talking about the Vercom Master Grade, I actually have it. I have it down below because I've been building it off and on the side. But there's a lot of pieces and a lot of stickers actually. A lot of like silver backing behind the clear pieces to show the psycho frame. But there's a ton
Yes.
of those, so that's one of those things.
Have you speaking of Psycho Frame, have you built any of the unicorns? I think I see one back there in your case.
Yes, yeah. So the those are mostly high grades. So
Oh,
and then the big one in the background is actually that's the mega size. So no
Oh,
transformation on that one is either.
oh,
But great. I actually like the mega size a lot. It's the biggest one for the mega size so far, just because it's in when it's in that psycho frame transformation. It's just even taller than the RX-78 that I have back there too.
gosh,
But yeah,
I don't know if I
uh,
want to get any mega frame megas. That's I don't think I have room.
yeah, I'm out of a lot of room. I need to get a bigger case for sure. Yep.
Well, on the topic of kits, what does your backlog look like? I mean, how many you got that we're waiting to see videos for?
Oh man, that is a great question, and I do not know, which is probably a problem. So I know I have. See, the thing is, I lean towards high grades for a review, so I have a lot more master grades in my backlog that I need to
Oh,
work on. Um, so I want to say I have probably in between 20 plus kits right now in backlog. Maybe might be around 30. I've been kind of getting into it some, but
yeah.
I haven't bought too many kits recently, trying to just like dwindle that backlog down so I can not take some heat from the wife.
I totally understand that one. I had this big box in my closet, and I had a bunch of empty boxes that just were the runners in there. Because she goes, "What are you gonna do with these?" I'm like, "Well, I think I'm gonna do something cool with those. I saw somebody make some posters with those, and I think I'm gonna do
Oh
that."
yeah.
She goes, "Are you really?" I'm like, "I mean, maybe." And so, like, she was gone to work one day, and so
Right.
I stuffed them all in a big box, and I put them in the garage, and then suddenly 25 new kits showed up.
Yes. Like where'd they come from? I don't know.
I was like, "Oh, they were here. You didn't notice those were here before?" Like, just wink, wink, hint, hint.
Weird.
So yeah, and then I found a guy who was selling a Wing Zero custom Verka and two Ibo kits for like he wanted 45 for all three,
Oh,
and I was
all right.
like that's a stellar deal. So I,
Yeah.
I was like, "Let me cash app you real quick." So I cash apped him, and I came home and I was looking around because there were cameras around the house, so I could turn them off real quick and. Because it'll say package detected, so I turn them all off and I walk in the house,
Yes.
and then I just put them in there. And like she didn't know anything, she didn't know any different. And she'll probably watch this later and then come back. So
Like so, we're gonna have a conversation.
we,
I've done that in the past where I'm like, I'm gonna order this kit, and then I'm like, whoops, I accidentally bought three more kits with that one that I said I was gonna buy.
yes,
And then slide it in there.
I actually did that just recently. The Big Bad Toy Store had a RX-72 real grade 50th anniversary edition of something
Nice.
for pre-order, and I pre-ordered this thing months and months ago, and I totally
Yeah.
forgot about it. And I looked at my bank account, and I was like, Big Bad Toy Store, $64. I was like, what is that? So I went back and looked at, oh, that thing. I was like, I remember posting about this. I was like, too late now.
Yes. Yep. I did that with a Big Bad Toy Store. I did that with the Master Grade Turn A.
Oh, man.
Before it was like right before they did a reprint too. So I like literally pre-ordered it, and I don't even think it was part of the reprint that they did. So it was like they were just getting it in, but it was like months later. Then all of a sudden they sent it, and I'm like, okay, well here, so it's back there in my backlog.
I think that's one thing that I don't like about the Big Bad Toy Store is that it takes so long to get stuff from them. It takes so long to get some, even when you normally order. I remember ordering something from them, and it took 3 weeks for them just to ship it. And I was like,
Yeah,
this is crazy.
that's
But
kind of rough.
I saw that one. I was like, I got to have that one. And then I've forgotten about it, and I've ordered 30 some odd kits prior or after that. So,
Yes.
like, I mean, I wasn't even thinking about it. But my go-to right now is New Type and USA Gundam Store. Those are my two. They have everything I want all the time.
Hmm.
And I know I talk about them a lot in my videos, but I'm not an affiliate in any way. Like they're not sponsoring me for this stuff. So
Right.
like I even try to say that to people, they're not sponsoring me. They don't sponsor me. Because I don't want people to go, oh, that guy's a shill for New Type. No, I think they're kind of new themselves. Like I don't think they can afford to pay like affiliates. So they don't even have a YouTube. Uh,
Right.
so or they've been around a long time, and I'm just talking, and I
Well,
don't know
New
what I'm talking
Type has
about.
been around for both. We'll say they've been around for a while. They actually have a decent amount of sponsors on there too. So,
Okay.
but yeah. So I use New Type. I've used USA Gundam Store. I use both of them are pretty good. The only thing I've ever had issues with either one is the USA Gundam Store on the pre-order. I had a kit that it was supposed to come in, then it didn't. I've actually seen a couple issues with pre-orders, but with them, but it was the perfect grade Strike Rouge, and I
Oh,
was
and
so excited for that kit, and it was like it was supposed to come in like third quarter, and like third quarter went, fourth quarter went, and then finally I messaged them like, hey guys, I think I want to cancel this because it's well past the time.
yeah,
So, and I mean that's the downside of it because I'm sure they can't control what comes in, and I don't know the story on that, but that was the only issue I've ever had with them. But I've ordered from both of them. I do order, and I'm not an affiliate for either one of these either. So, Gundam Pros is another one I've purchased from Big Bad Toy Store.
okay,
Again, that's one of those things with pre-order. You got to kind of watch out on the timing, but
yeah,
yeah, it's one of those things. So I try to buy more that's in stock than dodge the pre-order thing, just because of how it is. And then
yeah.
P Bandai itself, they can take so long, but some of those are great.
I've been tempted to buy so many things off P Bandai, so tempted. And then
Yes.
I'm like, $70 for this one, $80 for that one, 30 here, 30 there. I'm like, suddenly that's a $200, $300 bill. I'm like, and you're waiting
Yes.
like 6 months to get this thing? Yeah,
Yeah, it's rough. I've done it a few times, but it is rough because it's like I was looking at one today actually. I forget what one it was, but it's like it was set up for it just opened and was supposed to close at the end of I think June, but the shipping I forget the exact closing date, but the shipping date wasn't until September.
oh wow.
And I'm like, man, I can't wait that long.
I
I'm
can't,
too impatient for that.
I can't either. I gotta, I'd like to have stuff within 2 or 3 days. I know New Type is, it's not Amazon. Nothing is Amazon Prime. Nothing can come close to Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So, and I've actually stopped ordering from them because their stock seems to be quite limited depending on the seller. So I've deviated away from Amazon a lot and
Hmm.
moved over to New Type. They're my favorite. Um, and I'm kind of biased because they actually did something really cool for me. When I first started ordering from them, I ordered 3 kits and they didn't ship, and or so they said it didn't ship,
Sure.
and it said it was on the, and then it said it was on the way. And then something happened, so I contacted them and said, "Hey, man, it's been like 3 weeks. Where are these things? I haven't seen them come up yet." And they're like, "You know what? We'll go and cancel that order, give you some credit, and you can just order something new, and then we'll ship them out." And I'm great. So I ordered those. They came in a couple of days, and then out of nowhere, I got those 3 original kits. And so I emailed them. I said, "Hey, I said I got these 3 original kits. I'll send them back if you want. That's not a problem. I don't feel right about this. I don't want to feel like I'm taking advantage of all. Like, you know what? Don't worry
Sure.
about it. Just go ahead and keep them."
Right.
And I was like,
Oh
right on.
wow.
I was like, right on.
Yeah.
So, I was grateful for that. And ever since they've had my business. And I don't mind spending, money there, and paying the shipping. It doesn't bother me at all. So I've been pretty happy with them so far.
No,
And
that's good. That's great customer service, and that's how you get keep customers. So I mean, that's awesome that they're willing to go that way.
yep.
There's not that many places that do that. So
No,
yeah,
there
it's
are
awesome.
not. Yeah, if this were like Walmart or something, yeah, we expect you to send that back. All right. Like, fine.
Yes.
Let me pack this big ass TV in a box and ship it back to you. Well, whatever. That ain't gonna happen.
Right.
So no, I'm pretty happy with them. I've ordered from USA Gundam Store. I've been wanting to order from Gundam Planet. I just haven't done that yet. I'm not
Okay.
sure if anybody's. I don't know anybody who's personally ordered from them.
I have actually.
Have you? Okay.
Yes. So I initially so this has been a while, so I haven't ordered from them recently, but several years ago I purchased from them a few things, and one of the things was their nippers.
Okay.
The side cuts they had was a single blade that was similar, not quite God hand, but it was similar, and a lot of people liked it. It had a positive review from most people, so that was one of the things I purchased. And at the time, if you bought the pair of their nippers, they actually did free shipping on your entire order. So I was like, yeah, all right. So I'll pick up a few models with that and go with it. I used those nippers for I would say a couple years, at least 1 year.
Yeah.
And then I think I ended up getting a God hand after that. But yeah, no, I went to the USA Gundam stores nippers after that, and they're pretty
Okay.
much comparable before
Okay.
I went to the God hands. But yeah,
Well, last two questions because I know we're
sure,
coming up on the hour. So
yeah,
on the
goes fast.
on the topic of tools, we can come back to the topic of tools. You were just mentioning nippers. What are the ones that you use? The ones that you recommend? What are the ones that your go-to?
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so I for nippers for me, I always go to my God hands, the SPN 120, this 5.0s, I believe.
Hmm.
It might be 6.0. But that's my preferred nippers. I've used those for a while now, and they seem to hold up just fine. I love them. They're great for close cuts. And I mean, so a good alternative I would say is if you can find yourself a single blade nipper that has a kind of a thinner cut, it's still great compared to the double bladed nippers, just because they kind of pinch and stuff.
Yep.
But so I would say a good alternative is actually either USA Gundam stores or Gundam Planets nippers.
Okay.
But my favorite definitely is the God hand nippers. I know that's kind of cliche because that's I think everybody says that,
Yeah.
but
Everybody's like,
it's
oh,
true. It's true.
I mean, they're pretty pricey. I understand they're pricey for a reason. You don't,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you don't pay good money for crap. You just don't. So, well,
No.
sometimes you do, but that's
Hopefully not with
yes.
any luck.
Um, in all my 40 years of life, there's been some things where I've spent a lot of money on things. I'm like, I probably shouldn't have bought that. That did not turn out like I expected. So,
Sure.
but for me, my personal favorite are the Ruatul 3.0s. Those are like the God Hand clones, or close enough, I guess, whatever.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I use. I've got the 1.0s, the purple handles. They're
Uh-huh.
both single bladed, but the 3.0s have a thinner blade and they get a much better cut. I like them.
Okay.
So much so that I've learned how to use them in such a way that I don't have to really file anymore if I don't have to. So,
Mm,
if your tools are good enough and you're able to use them effectively, and you can get really close cuts and trim with them just enough to really, save yourself from having to do any filing. So,
yeah.
I mean, invest in the tools; they make a difference. Don't get the
They really do. They
yes,
save so much time in the long run and clean up, but man, it's yes.
yes,
Are those ones with the orange handles?
yeah. It's these right here. I don't know if you can.
Okay.
Yeah, these. Yep.
Yeah. Nice. I'll have to keep those. Definitely check them out.
Yeah, I think they were. I think 25, $30, something like that. They weren't that
Hmm.
expensive. Well,
Okay.
like most people look at those and go, "The wire cutters, $30 for wire cutters." They're not wire cutters.
No,
Yeah,
no. I actually tried to use a pair on wires once. That was a terrible choice.
yeah, they're yeah. I would imagine so. I don't think I'm actually gonna try that, but I'd imagine they are.
It
Um,
left a sizable hole in between the two blades. And now, thankfully, it was like a Mr. Hobby cheap one,
yeah,
but I handed them to my wife. It was just wires for like the fake flowers. So I handed them to my wife to use, and I'm like, oh, I'll cut through that, no problem. I was wrong. I was
well,
so wrong.
well, here's to spending more money, but
Right.
and so the last question, and I've been trying to been looking over here on some of these questions I've got filtered to see which one would be the last
Sure.
to ask, and so the one that I would ask is, out of any of the Gundams that you've watched on screen, movies, whatever, which is one that they haven't built yet that you would like to see released?
Oh man. So that's a tricky question. Um, Actually, it's not that tricky. So the God Gundam, I want a perfect grade of it. I've said it. I don't
Oh,
know how many times. Yeah. So they have or even a 2.0 on a master grade for the God Gundam. I
yes,
mean, yeah. So I mean, they have the high res that they did with that. So and that's the closest thing. And then they have the real grade. But I would love to see a perfect grade God Gundam or a new master grade 2.0 of the God Gundam. I think they could do a lot with that, especially if with the extremes nowadays, and
yep.
adding in some, I think, LED kits for like the hands and all kinds of different things. But yeah, so perfect grade God Gundam is my answer for that one.
That would be a good one.
What about you?
Me, I'm like I said, my favorite one so far right now is that high grade RX-78 GE from Requiem. It doesn't matter to me what one they come out with, real grade, master grade, or perfect grade. I want
Hmm.
I want one of each of those when they do, because if
Yes.
they can make a high grade that good, I
Yes.
cannot wait to see what they can do with one of those other three platforms. The engineering involved in that high grade is just so good.
Yeah.
What can they do with a master grade? What can they do with a perfect grade for that kid? Like, imagine how crazy that would be. Like, when you build it, you'll understand what I'm saying. When you build it, you'll understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because if you, so I guess anything close to that would be any of the Witch from Mercury kits, like Ariel or the Elfrith or anything like that, that are like really detailed and high grades.
Hmm.
So like take those high grades and just ramp it up about another 50 to 75% in quality and detail. Like it's so good. It's
Yeah.
such a great kit, and the articulation is insane. So yeah, real grade, perfect grade, or master grade. Any one of those three, I'll be happy. I mean, because anytime outside the Exio, anytime that kit comes out in any form or fashion, I will buy it, hands down. I will. That's just the way it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I have a little bit of bias towards that. I know people didn't like the show too much, but I love that kit. It's so good. So, well, we are literally 10 minutes from the hour, and I know that this is longer than a typical episode because it is a special episode. I plan on doing more of these. So I do thank you for being here. It was great to meet you, Matt. It was great to talk with you. I can't wait to see what other videos you got coming out. What other video do you have coming out? What can we look forward to?
So the next one is the high grade G Gundam. Again, I'm biased, so that was definitely one that I'm like, I'm going to build for myself. And then I'm kind of going back and forth on which way if I want to try a master grade again. I'm trying to do live streaming, so I'm either going to do that or the inverse Astray Red Frame.
Oh,
So from the Battlelog series, I have that one in there as well. Kind of like loaded up right a rock for a live stream build on that one. But dude, I appreciate it. It's been an honor being
yeah.
here too. So I appreciate the invite. I was so pumped when you sent out that, and I was like, dude, that's awesome. I'm on. I'm on board.
Well, I plan on doing some more of these in the future. I plan on having. I would like to do these as live if we could, whenever the technology decides to work. Um,
Yes.
so look forward to that. I mean, I look forward to having another chat with you in the future. And I'll keep apprised of your YouTube channel and keep liking and watching your videos, man. You do great work, so I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Same. I love your work. You do a great job. Do a great job explaining everything and getting some great details mixed in there. So absolutely do the same for you too, man.
Awesome. Well, I'll let you have your evening back. I'm going to get back to mine. And everybody who's watched, thank you for keeping in. Subscribe to our channels. It does help us grow, and keep on building. We'll see y'all later.
All right, love.
See you later.